fish. We hope.
We go that way. We just snorked the sea aquarium. Super beautiful, super clear, but unless you're in the water, it's really cold outside.
Just enough breeze today that it's really chilly.
It feels nippy, but I'm looking at your GoPro and you've got like 4 minutes left and we want to go check out another spot and we want to take you guys with us, so turn it off and let's go check it out. It's so blue! Okay, so we found out that there's a cave here where you can go under and go explore. However, they do say to watch for the current and watch for the chop. And as you can see, there's a little bit of chop. So I don't know, we're deciding, should we do it today or should we do it tomorrow, babe?
It's pretty rough.
Yeah, well.
A little too much chop and a little too many sharp, jagged rocks for me to...
All right, well, this is what it looks like. Hopefully we can come back. If not, this is as close as we're gonna get. But if you're curious, there is a mooring ball. You just tie up right on there and then you can go and explore, but we'll try again later. Safety first. Look at him. I know nature's about survival of the fittest, but these tides are crazy. And I think I found a little live conch who just probably got, yeah, he's in there. We gotta save him.
Tide's coming up soon enough, but...
Yeah, we're just giving him a fair chance. There you go, good karma points. So the conch gods give us a nice big one out in the open and we can make some good homemade conch fritters. This water is ridiculous. It's so blue.
All the trees are so short here in the Bahamas. I'm as tall as the trees.
No, don't go very high.
Yeah, I guess the hurricanes just continually wipe them out, or it's just too brutal of an environment. But yeah, it's like living in a miniature set. We were really enjoying the beauty of the Exumas Land and Sea Park, both above and below the water, and on both the Bankside and the Atlantic side, these islands did not disappoint. We were aware that the Bahamas are home to many sharks, but we were still blown away as to just how many we ran across. There was not a single anchorage where we did not see at least one.
Oh my God, we were just in that freaking water. It could have been my toe. No shoe was gonna help that.
Beautiful day this morning in the anchorage here at the, where are we? Cambridge Key. And it is a nice day, but the weather is still not so great for exploring. We kind of scoped the area, a little windy, and the waves are still very, very rolly. So definitely not going to be the day to check out the caves again. However, like I said, it is windy, so it might be a good day to go to the next spot. So we are going to get the boat ready here in a second, and we are going to go hit up. Where are we going? Tell him the scoop.
Well, we want to get out of here because we'd love to go do some more exploring, but there's two reasons why we need to get out of here. One, we're in a national park and they charge us every day we're here. So it would be great for us to just kind of sit here and wait until the weather got better so we could go see these caves. But every day we sit here, it's money, 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 and we don't like spending money. Yep. So we want to get out of here before we get charged another day. And secondly, it's going to be quite a while before we get any settled weather. I looked at the predict wind, and not only is it windy today, but it's supposed to get windier and windier and windier throughout the weekend. So it's going to be actually pretty brisk, maybe 25 knots of wind this Friday and Saturday. So we want to get tucked into a place where we're nice and protected and ride that wind out. And I don't want to be doing that in a place where I'm getting charged every day. Next stop, I believe we're going to jump down to Staniel Cay. That'll give us an opportunity to finally get to a place where we have groceries and laundry and some restaurants and a bar maybe. So we'll check it out. We'll find, maybe Linda will finally get her Bahamian bread. She is a big fan of bread.
I am a big fan of bread. Hey!
Beautiful sailing today. I see why people love the Bahamas. Beautiful blue water. I got my breakfast.
I made it for you.
She actually made it for me, which is very unusual. We are usually on our own for breakfast. And today we're doing 8.5 knots. With the wind at a close reach, and we've got winds that are about 15 knots. So we are cooking. And it's also kind of unusual for us because there's so many boats around here, so much boat traffic. We're approaching Staniel Cay, which is apparently the cruiser's hub in the central Exumas. And you can tell it's the cruiser's hub because there are boats everywhere. And we aren't used to so many boats. We're used to a little bit more isolation.
Okay, we're here, but we're not here just yet. As in anchored. This is the part I hate about getting to places that we've never been to before. We don't really know, we're just following the charts. The charts said make a big loop and go through these scary 2 rocks that I'm about to show you guys to get to the anchorage we want to get to. But maybe visually it looks scarier than it is. Maybe we have enough room, but let me show you guys what we're about to do. That's way too close. Oh my God, look at that one.
Come to find out, we did not need to go through that narrow cut with the stiff currents. After watching several others approach the anchorage, I realized there was a much more open and direct route for a boat with a shallow draft like ours by simply going across the shallow sandbank.
We're hooked. The water is beautiful, amazing, gorgeous. Kurt says he thinks it's good, but the clarity is obviously just fine and it's not deep at all, so he's gonna dive it just in case.
Welcome to Staniel Cay Yacht Club. Fun fact, this colorful bar makes a cameo appearance in Pitbull and Kesha's music video for their pop hit, Timber. It also serves as a great place to catch up with fellow cruisers, and you will have an opportunity to get socialized with the huge nurse sharks that you will certainly run into around the islands.
Staniel Cay has a lot to do, a lot of fun, touristic things. The pigs are here, Thunderball Grotto is here, the beaches. We are going to do all that stuff later. We're right now walking to provision for our guests that are coming in a few days. And then when they come back, we're actually going to come right by here and show them around here. So we're going to wait to do all the fun stuff when they get here. And right now, it's a work day.
We are on the move this morning. It's a gray, nasty morning, but we've got to make some miles to get over to Georgetown. We've got guests to pick up. My dad and my daughter are coming to visit. And honestly, we haven't really done much filming or done much of anything this past week. You haven't seen a lot of footage of snorkeling, of white beaches, of all that kind of stuff, because the last several days have been pretty windy and we've been pretty lazy, so we just decided to relax and enjoy ourselves on the boat. So today we're moving, and the challenge that we're going to have today is that we are going through our first cut here in the Bahamas. There's cuts that separate the shallow bank versus the sound, which is thousands of feet deep. And these cuts can be a little squirrely if you don't time them right with tides and currents and things like that. So I don't think it's going to be any issue today. The winds are a little bit stiff, but they're not terrible, and I'm timing it correctly with the tides. So we're going to go and check it out. We're going to be going through Dotham Cut, just north of Great Guana Key. This should be about a 50 or 45 to 50 nautical mile sail today. And we've got nice winds. Hopefully they're not going to be too close to the nose, so I plan on doing as much sailing as I can today. Might have to do some tacking to keep away from the shore, but I'm hoping for a nice brisk sail. A brisk breeze was an understatement. As we maneuvered out of the wind protection of the islands, the winds forecast for 15 knots ended up being over 20 knots, and the waves were building and bashing us right on the nose.
Starting to think that this was maybe a bad idea. We left that cut, and it's pretty brutal out here. The waves are crazy, the wind is bad. We've just been sailing for the last 10 minutes and we've already put in the second reef. I did have work scheduled today, but I cannot be in there. Like, it's already a disaster in there. Things are falling. I just took a Dramamine and I'm about to go get my life jacket on. It was terrifying. It was terrifying to get out of that cut. Imagine going back into that cut. And the only way back into the shallow area is to go through this cut or the next cut. So we're gonna try to rough it out a little bit, and if push comes to shove, I don't know. I'm gonna let Kurt make that decision. This is not fun. Not the Bahamas sailing that I want. Changing our plans. Let the head sail out too soon. We're still too close to land. Bringing it back in, we're gonna get a little bit away from shore, and then we'll let the sails out. Main, are you good?
Yeah.
Main is up, but it's double reefed.
The wind's really not that strong.
No, but these waves are...
The waves are strong. What a nasty day. This is just not fun at all. We've got 22 knots of wind and our waves are probably 6 to 8 feet. I did get offshore enough, got away from that lee shore so that we could sail, but not really making the right angle that I wanted to make. We'll be able to sail for several hours before I have to tack and get out offshore again, but This is just no fun. We're getting beat up today, and it's cold. It's a little rainy. We keep getting a little wet, and we'll make it, but not what I was hoping for today. More rain to make the day even more miserable, and it's blowing with the front that brought this rain in. We got apparent winds that are reaching up to 28 knots, but we're fine. We've got 2 reefs in, so it's fine. We're just not making real good time, and just wet, wet, wet. I did not put my windshield up here because I typically enjoy having the breeze come through. It keeps everything nice and cool, keeps the breeze in your face. It's easier to see through, so I don't like to have that on, but I should have put it on this morning because now I'm kind of stuck inside as this rain's pounding out there. It's not fun to be in there because it funnels through that little slot and it hits you right in the face. But we'll be out of the rain pretty soon, and then I'll be outside again. Right now I'm just navigating by the chart plotter. I haven't had my trusty first mate with me for most of the day because she took some Dramamine to counteract all the waves that we had this morning, and that Dramamine knocked her out. I think she took one too many. So she's passed out on the couch, and she has been out for hours. But that's okay. Like I said, it's not a problem. I've just got 16 miles to go. I've got another 3 or 4 hours of sailing in a straight line, so I don't need her right now. I'll need her when we start going through that cut, though. I did not see anything that looked like we were going to have troubles going through this cut, so I am coming on through. We are just passing the reef now. I've got Linda up front as my lookout, and it seems like everything's going to be fine. We're almost through this cut, and there's no real current. It's a really wide open cut. It's not a cut between islands like we had to go through this morning. This is just a cut between the reef, and so it looks like we're going to be all right. The engines are off, the wind is done, we're at our anchorage, so I can almost breathe a sigh of relief. And we've got a super cool looking, I think it's a gunboat next to us, or maybe I don't know. Take a look at this. I don't know what that is, but that's a fancy looking boat. But I got one more chore.
Parked behind next to this boat is because he says that the mast is carbon, so that if lightning comes, it'll hit him and not us.
His mast is probably 50% taller than ours, and it looks carbon. So yeah, that's a big lightning rod. Tomorrow we're actually supposed to have some lightning in the area, so yeah. I thought that was a little insurance policy to park next to this guy.
It's also a terrible way to make friends.
But the reason I can't relax just yet is because we were just backing down on our anchor, and with all that rough weather we had, I guess the painter on the dinghy flopped out and was dragging in the water, and I just caught it with the prop and cut it. So now I've got to go underwater and get the dinghy painter off the prop.
And make sure that the prop is okay.